Some movies that would not be good to play at parties are DW Griffith movies.
Great transition, and
Thank you.
truer words have never been said.
This guy makes some... Oh my god.
This, I call this 1911 the year that DW Griffith just doubles down.
Yeah.
On everything.
Yeah. There's no turning back with him anymore.
No,
there's no more fun, house robbery movies. There's no eagles picking up babies.
Yeah.
It's
he no longer has like plausible deniability about his bigotry.
Yeah.
Really
the only deniability he has is that he made one movie that was about the Union and not about the Confederacy.
I've this week while like going through Wikipedia to find movies, I've been waging a one-man war against dumb, incorrect D.W. Griffith facts. Mm-hmm. Like things that he invented, close-ups or continuity editing or cross-cutting or any of those things. It's
D.W. Griffith has made some good movies, but I think that we owe it to film history to take away the worship of D.W. Griffith as this innovator and the man who invented cinema. Because
I do think he has like innovative filmmaking techniques that he's using, but he didn't invent them. Like it's not.
Yeah.
They're less groundbreaking more than it is just sort of like he's using them.
He's refining things and using more advanced techniques as more than just a parlor trick.
For sure.
And he has much more of an interest in storytelling than a lot of people did when he started off too.
Yeah. I also, watching some of these and like doing research about like the stuff that he's sort of contributed to film language. Not to diminish his influence as a director, though I do love to diminish his influence as a director, is, I wonder sometimes how much the sort of like competent film language stuff in his movies is Billy Bitzer, who was also a director and was the main cinematographer. For I think all of his movies or all of his main ones. Mm-hmm. That wouldn't necessarily account for the sort of like the noticeably better editing of them or anything. I have no idea if there's any truth to that. I just want to take some credit away from him, I think.
Well, since we're talking about we can get to the gross stuff in a minute, but since we're talking about apocryphal D.W. Griffith information, we could start with the Lonedale Operator, which is thankfully not a racist movie of his.
Yeah,
it's a neutral film.
Yeah,
but it's listed in certain places that it's. What did you say that was like? It was either like the first close up or
there was a thing on Wiki, and this is Wikipedia, so obviously this is just like some person put this there. They had the release of the Lonedale Operator as a significant sort of advancement in film history because it was, their words, I'm paraphrasing a bit, but it was something like the first successful close-up in a film. And first of all, what does that even mean? Like,
they tried, but they failed, you know?
It's like, we had a close-up. I don't know. It just, we were too far away. And it's like, no, nothing about that is true. I mean, I tried to think about it very specifically because there is a somewhat unusual for this time punch into a close up to show what someone is holding. That is sort of a big reveal in the movie. That
we have seen that before, but it's well done here.
It is, yeah, and I think that's why it kind of sticks out as like, ooh. This is new.
Yeah.
And who hadn't done the insane due diligence that we have been doing of watching damn near everything.
Due Diligence, the podcast.
But yeah, I want to say that like, what's his name? God damn it, now I'm blanking. Um,
David Wark Griffith.
George Albert Smith had
Yeah.
like punch-ins to close-ups to show things and to reveal things. Not often.
Yeah.
Or probably not quite as elegant as it's used here, but it's like that sort of mechanical function of cutting to a close-up of something to reveal more information is not a new thing.
Yeah. I'll have to search through my notes from previous weeks because I know on a few movies I wrote a punch-in with lots of all caps and lots of exclamation points. Briefly, this movie is a woman
sort of
takes over.
It's a loose remake of The Lonely Villa.
In some ways.
Yeah.
In some ways, it definitely involves some like robbers trying to get in a door, and then that's actually quite true. I'll say how. So there's a woman who is the daughter of an operator of a train station, and he is, I don't know, sick, was he, or just getting old, basically. And he hands over the operation of the train station to her, and they find out that there is a delivery on a train coming up of some payroll money for a company, big money bags, and so they're trying to make the accommodations for the delivery of the money, but there are some no good rootin' tooters who are trying to track down the train and steal the money, and as the money is delivered, they basically hold her up inside of the train station, and she locks herself in her office, and so the similarity with the Lonedale operator is that it's these guys trying to get into the office, and her using a telegram instead of a telephone to send out for help, which I thought was actually kind of fun because, I don't know if I've seen a telegram portrayed in movies yet, and she's like really telegramming with emotion, you know. She you can see she's like as she's telegramming, and something I was wondering was that if you could actually, it shows what she said later in a card, but I was wondering if you would actually be able to see what she's telegramming. Oh, you tried?
No, I'm shaking my head no, because I very much doubt that they took the time to accurately have her telegraph out the correct Morse code in that scene.
That'd be nice, though. I mean, it'd be like a good Easter egg for people that can understand Morse code.
Yeah.
There's like a lot of parallel action happening in this movie. There's the people breaking in. There's her in the station. There are people on the train. There are cops in waiting. There's the person receiving the telegram.
Mm-hmm.
All sorts of stuff happening together that fits quite well. Apparently, there's over 100 cuts in this movie. I saw that being noted somewhere. I don't know if it's especially a lot, or I mean, it kind of seems like a lot, but they flowed so well that I actually didn't notice how many cuts there were in this movie until it was pointed out. As the thieves break in, they hold her at gunpoint, but then she pulls a gun on them, and so there's a bit of a standoff, and they are not going to fire on her, basically, because she's holding out the gun. And there is a blue tint that's indicating that the lights are out in the room.
Oh, yeah. That was good.
I actually noticed that in a couple of movies this year, that I think like a piece of cinematic language that's developing is blue light means it's dark, or like a blue tint means it's dark out, like nighttime or the lights are off. But eventually her telegraph goes through and the cops come at just the right moment and get the bad guys. And it is revealed the whole time that in the dark, she did not actually have a gun. She had a wrench that she held up. and made it look like a gun. And so that is the punch in there, is the close up on the wrench, so you can go, oh, it was a wrench the whole time.
Yeah, and I also like how once that is revealed, the lead character and the cops all just laugh at the dumb robbers as they're taken away. Yeah, I mean, I think this was better than the Lonely Villa. I think it feels a bit more refined. I think the editing in it is very good for this time period.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it is sort of like, okay, like another woman trapped in a room while like cross-cutting with people coming to help her get out of it.
Yeah. At this point, DW is still making 50, 100 movies a year, something like that.
And a lot of them are the same movies. Like, he's repeating the same plots a lot.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know how you could keep that up if you weren't.
Yeah, turns out the reason he made so many movies is because he was making the same one a bunch of times.